Welcome to Ending the Stupid Gender War. This show is only for intelligent, mature, non-ADHD, non-doom-scrolling people only. So if you want silly cat videos, please click away from this serious video now. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? Let's see just how intense today's show is. Alright, so the gender war, if you're new to this channel and this show, otherwise known as the Battle of the Sexes, let's go ahead and see what the women have in store. We always start with the ladies first. Now, the theme for this show is going to be, after marriage, everything changes for the worse. And we're going to see what the women have to complain about and what the men have to complain about. So, number one with the women, the contract switcheroo. You showed up to the audition playing a completely different character than the one I married. You were romantic, attentive, ambitious. You courted me like I was a prize. Well, that's the idea. The second the ring was on my finger, the performance ended. That could happen. Now I'm living with the understudy, a man who thinks date night is takeout in front of the TV, who stopped caring about his appearance, who treats me like a piece of furniture he already owns. You didn't settle in, you dropped the act. And now I'm stuck married to a stranger I never would have said yes to. Her point is that many men treat marriage as a finish line rather than a beginning, investing maximum effort to win a woman and then immediately withdrawing it once they feel she's secured, leaving her feeling deceived and trapped. Okay. Well, this could happen, right? And that's why I encourage not dating, not rushing love, because this is the crap that you're going to end up with. You're stuck to a person that you really don't really know. You know, you guys rush the relationship. If you guys can become best friends and then get a little bit more intimate, hopefully, imagine you're going to spend the rest of your lives together, ideally. That's what you want to do when you get married. The ring means it's forever, eternally, into the afterlife, or however many afterlives there are, who knows, infinity and beyond. So it's really serious, but unfortunately people still play around with the concept of love. Love is all or nothing. So you can't falsely advertise who you think you're going to be and then you just stop being that person. Now, if you get a little bit out of shape or a lot out of shape, well, get your act together and get back into shape, right? There can be changes in physical appearance. I'm talking about your attitude, your passion. So, yes, that always has to be on a high level, doesn't it? It's not really advertising. It's more like you're showing, your potential lifelong partner who you are, but it's almost like a promise that's either said or not said, and sometimes it's both. It's implied. You have to be the best of the best version of yourself. That requires change. That requires growth. If you hear your partner say, I'm not changing, you can't change me, then you're with the wrong person. Life is all about positive change. Doing things you might not like to discover later on you do like it. You just never gave it a chance. It's about giving and taking constantly. Two halves of the same heart. It's a very mature thing. It really is. Love is extremely mature. So many immature idiots rush into love and they think they know what love is. And they still speak in a very selfish tone. Well, all I care about is what I want. What about what your partner wants? If you can't fulfill everything your partner wants, you're weak. You're not enough. Sorry to tell you that. You have a lot to work on. You either work on it or you make your partner miserable. So that's what this person going through right here. I mean, unfortunately for her, it was all an act. Number two, the man-baby reveal. Before marriage, you were a functioning adult. You had a routine. You took care of yourself. You contributed. After the wedding, suddenly you can't find the laundry basket. Don't know what we're having for dinner and expect me to manage your schedule, your family, and your emotions like I'm your second mother. You didn't want a wife. You wanted a replacement for the mom you left. The man I married was a competent partner. The man I live with is a dependent I have to raise. Her point is that the post-marriage transformation often involves a regression into helplessness, where men outsource basic life management to their wives and reveal that their previous competence was just another performance. Well, we're still with the act, right? You have to know who you're marrying because, yeah, the little things like this, responsibilities like chores, yada yada, well, that goes with the list of for number one. So number one and two are go hand in hand. So number three, the ego inflation, getting a little bit more mental here. Before the wedding, you valued my opinion, respected my career, and saw me as an equal. After, suddenly I'm supportive and you're the provider. My success became a footnote to your achievements. My needs became secondary to your stress. You didn't just change, you expanded. You took up more space, demanded more attention, and expected me to shrink accordingly. The partnership became a monarchy, and you crowned yourself without asking if I wanted to be a subject. Her point is that marriage can trigger a shift in male ego where they claim the husband title as a license for dominance. Yeah, okay, I see where this is going. Demoting their wife from partner to supporter and erasing the equality that existed before the vows. Well, yet another illusion, right? So strike three. And she has another point. Yes. You know, this is toxic masculinity, otherwise known as machismo. So what happens is the husband treats their wife like property. It's really disgusting. And that's not what a real man does. It's what a coward does. An evil coward. Because if they can get away with it, controlling and manipulating their wife, then yeah, they pick on the weak, right? Because if the wife is weak enough to allow her husband to manipulate and control her out of fear, that's what cowards do. They never pick on somebody their own size. And, you know, to pick on your own wife like that is really despicable. That's not what a real man does. It's disgusting. It's a toxic male that belongs in the garbage bin. Most likely behind bars at that rate, because usually these cases turn abusive. It starts with an overinflated ego and ends up with the fists, violence, all types of violence, domestic violence, even in the public. It's really bad. So ego inflation is just putting it very lightly. You know, when they change all of a sudden, the true colors come out, the colors that you were supposed to identify before putting a ring on it. Let's go ahead and shift gears to the men. Let's see what they have to say. Number one, the goalpost shifter. Before marriage, you loved me for who I was, a work in progress with potential after. You became my full-time editor. Every habit you used to find endearing became annoying. Every quirk became a flaw to fix. You didn't want a husband. You wanted a renovation project. The man you married wasn't enough, so you decide to remodel me into someone else and now resent me for not being the original version you claim to love. Okay. His point is that women often enter marriage with an unspoken agenda of improvement. Yeah, this can get very dirty. Systematically criticizing the very traits they once accepted, leaving men feeling fundamentally unloved for who they actually are. Yeah, absolutely. They treat you like a project. I agree. This is actually more common than what people think, where they get married for the wrong reasons. They want to change you, but in a bad way. You know, before you guys get married, you should know how you're supposed to change together. Meaning, I'll become everything you want, and you'll become everything I want. Otherwise, what's the point? Companionship? Just go get yourself a pet dog or a pet cat. If all you want is damn companionship. Companionship is just, it's preschool. It's preschool. We're not even at PhD level love here. If you want simple companionship, then just, I don't know, go buy a stuffed animal. You know, talk to it every day. But love, you gotta change. You gotta be everything to your partner. As I was saying before. But what you don't do is you get with your partner and like, I'm just gonna manipulate him like a mannequin. No, that's not the way this works. Like a puppeteering your husband here or your boyfriend. It's not the way it works. And it doesn't work the other way around either. You're not there to literally manipulate each other and try to change somebody that way. No, that's actually abusive behavior right there, because there's no positive. Let's say if she gets her way, she's changing you into something that's not even productive. And then when she changes you to be a certain way, she's not done with you, because it always leads to something even more pickier. It's just a mental sickness at that point. She thinks that's what she wants, but in reality, she's out of her damn mind. Number 2, the intimacy accountant. Before marriage, intimacy was mutual desire. After, it became a currency. You track every argument. Oh, great, the bookkeeper. Yeah, this is very common. Every forgotten chore, every minor failure, and deduct it from my romantic balance. Yeah, this is extremely common. You know, the accountant. When I initiate, I'm met with a ledger of my recent shortcomings. You've turned physical connection into a performance review where I'm constantly failing to meet quota. Yep. The woman who wanted me became the woman who judges me, and the warmth I married froze into calculation. His point is that post-marriage, many women weaponize intimacy as a reward system. Withholding, yeah, this is like social credit scoring for like China. It's like a nightmare on earth. It really is. Withholding connection based on behavior and transforming what should be a source of bonding into a tool of control. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because it's like the guilt trip. Well, remember this one time way back when we... Enough. You guys got to grow from your past mistakes. If you're unable to move on and one of you or both of you are still living in the past, you guys are not happy together in the present, and your future is going to be very grim. You can't live in the past. Get over it. Grow up. Grow the hell up. You probably made mistakes with your partner. They probably made mistakes with you. Don't claim that, no, I didn't make any mistakes. It was all your fault. What the hell is that? That's not love. That's not love, people. Anybody who says that love is just blatantly wrong and disrespectful. Both partners will trip up over their own toes, over your toes. It's like a dance. Sometimes you're going to step on each other's toes more than once. Guaranteed. You're going to have nasty arguments, most likely. What counts is, do you guys still want to be together? Do you still want to make it work out for an entire lifetime, yes or no? Because if the answer is, I don't know, or maybe, then yeah, you're wasting each other's lives. It's all or nothing. So shut up about the past, live in the present, and move forward. That's what love does. Love creates a constant clean slate. Now, if it's abusive behavior going nowhere fast, you can't forgive that crap. You can't. And most likely you're going to have to terminate the relationship, because it's not going to work. If you're in the abusive category, it's not going to work. You know, history is going to repeat itself. You know, the guy has problems, or the woman has problems, or you both have problems. But most likely, you guys made some honest mistakes. It doesn't matter who was culpable. Just forgive each other and move the hell on. Stop. Oh my goodness, man. If you really love each other, shut the hell up and just live in the present, because the future awaits you. I'm sorry to put it so bluntly, but that's the way love works, people. What are you going to do? Argue again and again over the same crap over and over again, ruining what could have been beautiful moments right now and in the future. Like, just stop it. Maturity is all about, it's not about, oh, I can't forgive and forget, or I can forgive, I can't forget, but I can forgive, I can't. Like, just stop it. That's what immature people say. They're like, well, I can't pick one or the other or both. How about both of them? You know, forgive and forget. Move forward. Enough. I see so many people living in the past. You know, they bring it up at any time. Oh my goodness, man. Just for crying out loud, do you love the person? Yes or no? And this goes both ways with men and women. All right, so let's see. That turns us over to number 3 for the men. The last point here. The freedom fighter. You say I changed. That's very common, by the way. Especially coming for the women to say to the men. But it works both ways. I say I stopped pretending. Before marriage, I performed the version of myself I thought you wanted. The romantic, the planner, the guy who always said the right thing. After, I got comfortable. I stopped performing and started just living. Yeah, that's pretty much ideal. Things kind of slow down because you're in it for the long haul. You know, being Prince Charming 24/7 is pretty exhausting. It doesn't mean you become a lazy bastard. It just means that no, things are naturally supposed to slow down a little bit. Doesn't mean you can't rev it up and, kick up the nos in that race car of yours. No, you can kick it up a notch. You can go ballistic. You didn't fall in love with me. You fell in love with my audition. And now that the show's over and I'm just a guy on his couch in sweatpants, nothing wrong with that. You're furious that the character you married isn't the real person. Well, what the hell are you supposed to do? Wear a suit and tie 24/7? Sleep in your freaking damn suit? I mean, come on, people. What the hell are we talking about? I mean, life is not a freaking cartoon. It can be a fairy tale, though. A real fairy tale. But it's not like we're cartoons that, you have to be in character 24/7. No. The beauty of the beauty of being in a relationship is that you're like 100 people in one. There's a time for everything, okay? You don't have to be in one gear for the entire... That's so boring. I don't want to see my woman in a red dress, every day and sleeping in a red dress. Like, no, kick up that sexy lingerie or just sleep in your shorts or whatever you're comfortable with. A shirt with holes in it for all I care, or naked. That's the best one. Let's go ahead and move on here. His point is that the pre-marriage version of a man is often a heightened, curated performance, and women who marry that performance are shocked and feel betrayed. My goodness, the sky's falling, right? When the curtain drops and a normal, imperfect human is revealed. It's so dramatized. Look, all of these are valid points. I think this is probably our second or third show where all these points are valid. Nobody's wrong here. On both the side of the women, it's a draw. It really is. All of you have great points. This stuff happens in marriage and relationships. For marriages, it's a lot more serious because you guys are trying to make it work out for an entire lifetime. So be forgiving, be forgetful too. Why remember bad things in the past? And it's just like post-traumatic events. Like, why constantly remember them if there's nothing positive or productive about it? All it's going to do is cause more mental and emotional destruction in the marriage. So, forgetting about bad things in the past and, also all this auditioning stuff that both of these people are talking about, all 6 of these people, you can't live in the past and be like, well, you're not the same person they're supposed to be, but just maybe in a different iteration. So meaning you get exactly what you wanted out of the relationship, but maybe in a different version. As long as you're happy with your partner, that's all that counts. So whether she's in a red dress or in a shirt with holes in it, in the right places, by the way, it shouldn't matter. And whether he is in a tuxedo or in a shirt with holes in it, it shouldn't matter. You're supposed to love each other skin deep. The man that you married, the woman that you married. People who fall in love, just like these guys are saying here, with the illusion. No, you're marrying for the wrong reasons. Life is not about an illusion. It's about the real deal. This isn't the Wizard of Oz. We're the ones behind the curtains. The ones who are really living life. You guys pull the strings together. You make your own show together. Don't be a show. Be the manager of your own show. And show your best. Do your best. The only path to happiness is when it's all or nothing. If you have an all or nothing attitude, you're going to survive for an entire lifetime with your partner. You guys will be happier than the maximum happiness can ever bring. So with that said, that does conclude our show. So be sure to binge watch all these other awesome shows. If you want to be a guest speaker, well, step up to the freaking plate. Let me know by signing up as a free member on my website, payhip.com/yourquestforlove, or stay quiet and be pretty much a nobody. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching and much love, everybody.